perfumes and I love to save money. So I have a few tips and tricks that might be useful to you if you're interested in starting a fragrance collection without breaking the bank. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I hope you stick around for the rest of the video. Hi, I'm Janique and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be talking about how you can get started with a fragrance collection without breaking the bank. How you can figure out what your tastes are, what fragrance families most appeal to you, and what you can do to start building that fragrance collection without spending way too much money. As you may be aware, building a perfume collection or having perfumes be a hobby is an incredibly expensive endeavor, and there are ways around some of that expense so that you can save money while getting started. The first place to start is the internet. To get onto Google and start looking up fragrances that you've tried before, that you may have liked, to get some more information about them. My recommended starting point is fragrantica.com. It is a website that is dedicated to all things fragrances. You might go on there, put in a fragrance you've tried before, something that's been recommended to you, something that you've just heard about somewhere, and you look it up and see what is being said about it. What are the reviews saying? What are the notes that are in there? Is this a vanilla fragrance or a fruity fragrance? To give yourself some underlying perspective of what some of the sort of talking points are when it comes to perfume. So your next step is to head out into the real world and to go try some perfumes in person with no pressure of buying anything just yet. Now you might think I would suggest that you go to Sephora, but you're not ready for Sephora yet. You're not ready for Sephora yet. Sephora is kind of the Wild West. All the fragrances are sitting out. You're going to be spraying at random. It's going to be confusing. My recommendation is to save Sephora until you have a few fragrances in mind that you're considering purchasing and you want to try them in person. No, the next place you want to head instead of somewhere like Sephora is Shoppers. The great thing about Shoppers is that all the fragrances are behind glass. So if you want to try them, you have to talk to a customer service rep who is on the floor. Usually there's someone in the beauty section who can help you. And what will happen is if you say have 5 fragrances in mind that you want to try, or even if you only have 1 fragrance in mind that you want to try, they can recommend 4 others. And what they'll do is they will write the name of the fragrance on a strip. They will spray the strip for you and you can take those home to keep smelling and figuring out what you like and what you don't like. Once you have those 5 strips ready to go home with, what you might also do if you feel comfortable asking is to say, hey, do you have any samples you'd be okay sharing? Maybe it's something you like that you'd like me to try, or something that I might like based on some of the fragrances I tried earlier today. I've never been in a situation in Shoppers where I asked if they had any samples I could try that I was told, yeah, we're not going to do that. Most times people are so gracious and kind and polite that they're happy to share a sample or 2 that you can take home with you and try, and maybe your next bottle comes from one of those samples. Have your strips and you've headed home. You may have a few samples on you. The next thing is to try to reconcile what you're smelling with some of the notes. You head back online, you try to make sense of what you're smelling, what you're experiencing, and you might have a sense now of some of the fragrances that appeal to you, some of the notes that appeal to you, even some of the brands that appeal to you. And so the next phase of things is going in one of 2 directions. So you might either head back to a place like Shoppers or Winners or any of the stores that have clearance fragrances to buy something at a bargain or a discount for $20 or less. So my favorite thing is to head to Shoppers, maybe use some of my points that I've accumulated to grab 1 bottle from a brand I think I might like. It's low stakes because it's inexpensive and I'm not using raw cash to buy it, I'm using points, and I take that home with me and I let myself enjoy that and learn about fragrances from that bottle for the next few weeks. Now, I'm not encouraging people to go out and, blind buy fragrances all willy-nilly, but it's one way to sort of step into the world of fragrances without dropping a bag. Now, I know buying these clearance fragrances might be seen as, I don't know, not the sort of bougiest, most luxurious of options, but before you understand what it is you enjoy and like, I think it's safer to use your points or to get something that's a little bit less expensive to fully explore what you enjoy and what fragrance families work for you. I would say the fifth thing you can do to get your knowledge up about perfumes and figure out what you love before investing is looking at discovery sets that are frequently available at the holiday time, but usually throughout the year, that will introduce you to not just one brand, but will introduce you to several brands as part of a discovery set. Shoppers has one, The Bay has one, and Sephora has a very popular one. Usually they have these discovery sets. There are a ton of different brands. Usually their most popular perfumes, 10 to 12 of them, that you can buy these discovery sets that maybe cost $90, and you get a gift certificate to redeem one of the samples for a full-size bottle. Now, this is a fantastic introduction to fragrances because it is fun to go through the samples day after day, figuring out what you liked, what you didn't like, making notes about them, and at the end you get to pick your very favorite one for a full-size bottle. And usually the cost of the discovery set is less than the cost of one full-size bottle of perfume. It is a nice, inexpensive way, more affordable way of getting introduced to perfumes, but also getting a full-size bottle you know you will love. Not only do many of these stores have discovery sets, brands will have discovery sets as well. So if there is a specific brand that is on your radar, whether it's Dior or it's Hermes or it's Commodity or it's Kayali, you can usually buy a discovery set of some of their more popular fragrances that you get to test at home until you're ready to invest in a full-size bottle. I usually take advantage of these. I'm not saying buy all of the samples. That's not preferable either. You don't want to overinvest in samples on like a quest to find the very best perfume. We're just trying to find one that you will enjoy, appreciate, and love while you have it. And discovery sets is one great way to do that. The next thing you can do if you are a customer of Sephora, things like a VIP customer or Rouge customer, very often you have points and you can get rewards. Now, often many of the rewards are fragrance related. You can get a full bottle or a few samples or travel size perfumes as a reward with your Sephora points. Now, maybe you've been using your points for makeup or skincare and you want to continue to do so. I am not discouraging you to do that. I'm just saying you can also use some of those rewards for fragrances if you're wanting to get your hands on a few really nice, expensive luxury perfumes without spending a lot of money. One of my favorite rewards was just sent to me was a reward for Chloe perfumes. They sent 3 travel size of Chloe perfumes. It was so beautiful. The packaging was lovely, and I got to try 3 new fragrances I had not tried before that I ended up really enjoying. So this is one way to enter this this hobby, is through a reward system at places like Sephora. Often people don't even realize that fragrances are sold on places like Amazon. So if you've been gifted an Amazon gift card and there's nothing that is jumping out to you that you want or need, you might be interested in using that gift card for a fragrance on Amazon. They're very often very great deals on there. Our perfumes are very often on Amazon at a good price, and they're long lasting. They smell great. So maybe there's something there that you can do something with. Second to last recommendation is to get familiar with some of the discount fragrance websites. Now, I personally use fragrancebuy.ca and perfumeonline.ca as two of my favorite ones in terms of the just really wide selection of fragrances they have, their really fantastic return policy, and the prices. So a lot of times you'll see these discount websites having fragrances available and you don't know if you can trust them. I'm also skeptical. I'm as skeptical as the next person, but I've had great luck with these two and I continue to purchase from them with a lot of success. And so if again you found fragrances that you know you want to buy and they're really expensive at these retail stores, then checking out some of these discount websites like fragrancebuy.net to purchase fragrances at a bargain, I'd recommend checking those out, deciding for yourself if it's worth the risk, and going forward if it is. Next recommendation is to check out some of those fragrance subscription sites and apps that are frequently being advertised on YouTube and elsewhere. I would say checking out places like Scentbird to maybe try for a month to see if there is a fragrance that you have on your radar that you want to check out. That is one thing that you can do. I recommend that for anybody not looking to buy full bottles but are looking to try a few different fragrances and figuring out their fragrance style. My sister, for example, is not about these like travel size fragrances. She wants a full bottle or nothing at all, and I understand that philosophy. But if you're open to having multiple smaller travel size bottles instead of the full beautiful thing, then this is one way to go about it. And this might seem obvious, just find the perfume community, watch some videos, listen to tips and tricks videos, see reviews. The perfume community on TikTok is fantastic. It is a supportive, wonderful place, as it is here on YouTube. So check those out if that's something you're interested in. See more videos, see more content on fragrances, see if it's something you even want to spend your money on, listen to some of the drawbacks of everything, and you might find out fragrances are or aren't for you at all. That's all that I've got today. Some of my recommendations around starting a fragrance collection from zero and growing it over time, whether it's buying things on the cheap on some of the fragrance discount websites or trying to test things in person. I just recommend you get out there, try a few things, figure out what works for you, and enjoy fragrances, because it really is just a magical thing to be involved in. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you keep coming back for more, because I want you here. You know you want to be here. So let's do this. Bye.